So something very exciting has happened. I have discovered gymnastics. Now, every time I get an acting job, I have this kind of deal with myself that if it's an acting job lasting more than a couple of days, I will do my utmost to learn a new skill. I always try and take inspiration from the actors that are on the job. So for example, when I did Jessica Rabbit back in February, most of the actors could juggle, so I decided what a great opportunity to learn to juggle. And so I did, although if you've seen the videos of me juggling, you'll know I'm still not great, but practice makes perfect, and at least now I know how to juggle and I kind of can do it, just not very well. Well, when I did Back to the Future this summer, there were a couple of the guys who could do some kind of tumbling and backflips and somersaults, and I remember watching them and just thinking, wow, I really wish I could do that. I've always wanted to. It's such a shame I didn't do it as a child. Anyway, talking to one of them, they said you don't need to have learned as a child, you can learn at any age. A little bit skeptical, but never afraid of a challenge. I thought, okay, fine, that's my thing. I'm gonna learn how to do a backflip. And so rather than doing it on set where I probably would have broken my back, I decided to do it properly. So I did some Google research and found a local place near me called Tolworth Gymnastic Club. And I went along on the first day, bearing in mind the only thing that I could do was a cartwheel and a handstand against a wall. So not a handstand freestanding. As I walked in, everybody looked like they'd been there for years. Everybody could tumble and somersault and walk on their hands and do all these amazing tricks. I was a little bit intimidated. However, the coaches there were really, really lovely. Ross, Adam, Helen and Josh have been helpful, encouraging, and within moments of seeing me standing there like a scared rabbit, they came over and they set me off learning the basics. So after 10 sessions, I can now do a very good roly-poly. I can do a handstand into a roly-poly. I can do a diving roly-poly. I know I probably shouldn't call it a roly-poly, but I like that. I can do a forward somersault on the trampoline. I do sometimes land on my elbows and knees, but most of the time I'll land on my feet. I can do a forward flick, a front flick or whatever you call it, where you run, you jump onto your hands and then flick over onto your feet. Again, it's not very good, but I can do it, and I can do it on a slightly harder floor. I can do a round off. I can do the thing that I went along to learn in the first place, which is a back flick. I still haven't done it yet on the hard floor, unassisted, but I can do it unassisted, mostly on the softer surfaces, as you will see in a minute. I can do a round off into a back flick, which is very exciting and scary. And on my last session, I started playing around with free cartwheels, which are awesome. Really scary, but awesome. It's where you do a cartwheel without using your hands and your face gets so close to the floor, and it's really scary. But the feeling when you do it is just incredible. And I've only done 10 sessions and yet I've achieved all of these things. So I just wonder how awesome I'm going to be at gymnastics in a year's time. I can't say that. That's just like bigging myself up. Yeah, I'm awesome. I think how much I've achieved in 10 sessions alone. I wonder how much I'm going to come on in a year's time if I continue to work as hard as I am. And I would say to anybody, if you have any desire at all to do gymnastics but feel that it's impossible because you didn't do it as a child, or because you're not flexible, or because you're not very strong or fit, just give it a try. You might be completely surprised by what you actually can achieve. And I'll tell you what, when you think something's impossible and you achieve it, it feels amazing. So I spent the whole time in the gym with this stupid grin on my face like a child, and it feels great. Besides that, I'm starting to feel really fit. Now, if you're curious to see what I have actually been doing in the gym, here you go.
How do you feel about that?
I feel amazing, but apparently it wasn't very good.
Oh no, it's fantastic.
We must do better.
Next year,